Alright, thank you all for watching. We're here with Lucas Beardslee, the champ.
So,
Hey, how does it feel to be champ?
feels pretty good, I guess. Just like it doesn't really change anything about daily life, but it's for clout, it's nice. It's good stuff.
Right. Was that one of your goals, like initially, that you wanted to be?
Yeah, no, I was playing like UFC video games, just like creating like players of myself when I was younger. It's like, oh, what's up, cat? So, no, yeah, I was always wanting to like that was kind of like my dream growing up, just being some sort of like champion in something, primarily like martial arts or like combat sports. Started on taekwondo, eventually transitioned to MMA like as I grew up, and then yeah, big fan of UFC video games. Played way too many video games growing up as a kid, but yeah, I was like always creating characters of myself, winning the title in the UFC and whatnot. So yeah, that's always been a goal of mine. It's still a goal, so I'm just still chasing it.
Uh, so do you plan on defending, or do you, if you care to share that information, you know what I mean? Do you care to share about your future plans?
I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm pretty much down for anything. If Dynasty wants me to defend the title, I'm also down to challenging a champion out of state, snag another title from another region, and then after that, going pro. I'm down for anything.
Do you think it's sketchy sometimes fighting people from out of state? Like, do you feel like there's like something, so like whereabouts, like kind of like where you're from, like where the Columbus area, where you have like Spencer Rich, like Brandon Soul, yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Norris. Like Spencer is like for especially. There's something like different about him, you know what I mean? Do you ever think that there's like some kind of like weird
Absolute unit. Yeah, no.
there's some kind of weird Iowa town that we don't know about that's just a den?
No, yeah, some people have just like freak genetics. Just like not everybody's born with different advantages. So we just gotta like take what we can and then work hard and use whatever's given to us. Like I was never like some gifted athlete growing up. I always quit every sport I ended up joining. Only thing I stuck with or enjoyed was punching and kicking people in the face. Uh, so yeah, it's all about kind of like whatever you're into.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
but yeah, like,
yeah, you're open
and
for
growing
championship
up, like,
fights.
if the only thing you're doing is like working on farms, throwing hay bales around, you're being pretty fucking strong. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of it's influence about like what you're doing growing up.
And that makes you harder, tougher, probably.
Yeah, it's all about environment, what environment
Yeah.
you're in, who you're training with, what kind of grind you're putting yourself through, where you're doing to transform and evolve constantly.
Yeah, but then like that anybody can step up their mental game to even like thwart that sometimes. Maybe, do you think? Like,
Mentality goes a lot into it. You can be the most skilled person, but if you're like mentally broken even before the match, if you're scared, had a bad weight cut, there's just a lot of shit that can go wrong just outside of it. So yeah, it's a nerve-wracking thing, but as long as you trust in your training and work hard, you should be good, and instincts and muscle memory will kick in.
is there anything that so, alright, I know you train all the time, and I want to ask you more about that in a sec. But like, so is there a way that you turn it on in the cage, or is this like another training session, but it's gonna be super hard?
Uh, I don't know. I've never really thought about it that way. No, it's just I guess the mentality I have is just like if I'm not in a pool of my own blood at the end, I'm good. So I'm just gonna like go in there, guns blazing, swinging, do whatever I can to win the fight, uh, by any means necessary, and I'll get the win. It's just like may the best martial artist win. Study multiple styles, use whatever techniques work best for you, whatever training, whatever coaches, and use that to transform and evolve your game.
Well, do you think that there's a switch that you turn before you get on the cage? Like,
Oh.
I know that.
Cats are wilding over here.
Cat fight. Do you think you turn on a switch, or you think that, or I know that you just kind of explained it, but do you think that there's a switch that you turn on?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's just I go in there with an objective, but there's nothing really different. Nothing turns off or on. I'm just focused.
that probably does help you focus. You know what I mean? So it's not like, I don't know. Maybe some people like probably like me like think about like this is a fight. You know what I mean? And maybe
Yeah,
get a little bit too jacked up sometimes.
I
And
used to
then you
like
stop
try to
thinking.
turn something on when I was
Yeah.
earlier, and it never worked out.
Right.
Like that was like
Yeah.
I was like it worked. I got lucky in my first few fights. That's just my opinion. I just like
Yeah.
got into like rage mode and just like went fast and hard. Just like, hey, shit happens, and I knocked him out. But no, yeah, I was yeah, so yeah, no, what I was saying is like I do remember I was getting really fucking angry. This is the first time I'm thinking about it, really. I used to try to really get angry. I had a lot of anger problems growing up, so I tried to turn a switch on. Just remembering it now. Didn't work out when I ran into Caniglia, though. He was like way too experienced at that time. Ridiculously strong.
A lot of cage time.
No,
He's
made a really stupid mistake when I turned that rage mode on. Like, he ended up going for that single leg instead of going for like a crossface and trying to like leverage and get him off. I went for like just like 20 hammer fists and gassed myself out. That was pretty fun. So yeah, I ended up learning after that. Oh, I can just like remain calm and then do this. So yeah, you just treat it like a human chess match. Just be focused and calm. Let your muscle memory instincts take over.
For sure. I was gonna say, do you have any people, places, or events that you would like to shout out? I don't know. I normally ask people that in case they do.
People and places, events where.
Like I don't know if you have sponsors or things that you like or things that help you. I don't know. I just like to try.
So I'm a cardio kickboxing instructor at CKO. So I do hour-long trainer-led kickboxing classes.
At which location?
It's CKO Lincoln North 48th Street.
Okay.
So yeah, we just do hour-long classes throughout the day, and we just give people really good workouts. Primarily centered around just kickboxing and then hitting heavy bags. Do a little bit of it work, but it's primarily just beating the crap out of bags. So it's fun stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a good stress relief, and also it supplements your training as well if you're a fighter. So, and I've used it to my advantage as well. I'm pretty much there half the time.
Yeah.
Just training and then training other people. So I think that's really helped up my game, especially understanding the fight game mentally from multiple perspectives. When you start teaching and like breaking down certain techniques, you kind of like gain multiple perspectives and then pick up new details. So teaching
really helps you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Do you have anybody else? Or?
Yeah, I'm also sponsoring 3D Nutrition.
Is that there by CKO?
Right next to CKO, yeah.
Oh, very
so
nice.
3D Nutrition and CBD.
Both those are close to
primarily
me.
a nutrition store, so they also offer services like cryotherapy. As well.
They do cryo there?
They do, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
use it pretty consistently.
Do you like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I use it all the time. It's like great for muscle recovery. I do a lot of stupid stuff when I train, so I'm constantly getting injured. It's nice.
Right.
I'm pretty smart with my training for sure. Like I'm usually trying to like, I don't know. I'm really weird with my sleep schedule. Sometimes I'll like sleep 3 hours like every night, and then like one night I like stay awake for like 72 hours or something, and then like run like 6 miles or like stay up late and train, and then I'll like sleep 12 hours and pass out. So I'm just like super inconsistent. Usually I don't even know what day it is. It's fun.
You should have been like a Navy SEAL or something.
Oh no!
You can stay awake for days.
Don't trust me with a gun. No, I can't stay awake for days. I'm barely coherent and conscious most of the time.
You said you stayed awake for 72 hours and then ran 6 miles. Like
that was maybe a little earlier. Sometimes it's usually like 36 or 30. That was just like early days. So I've always had sleep.
You can't sleep?
No, yeah, I always have had sleep problems. That's the CBD helps, which I also have another sponsor in Omaha, American Shaman as well.
American Shaman, Omaha.
Yeah, just off L Street as well.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty good location. They've sold me and give me really good products. That's also helped with my muscle recovery and my training.
Their CBD is legit?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, all of it's like super high quality stuff.
Because you know that there's a lot of fake stuff out there, or so I've heard, right?
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
they do their research, and they've shown me their research about where they get their products.
But
as well.
and you actually feel it too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's probably most important. Awesome. You got anybody else? American Shaman, 3D Nutrition, CKO.
Yep, just LBJJC as well.
Yeah.
My home gym where I've been training for the past 2 years. I really enjoy all the trainers and instructors there. They've really helped my game, especially with the ground game. Me coming from a striking background, really helped me become a well-balanced fighter. So I always appreciate that.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your training background or athletic background, regular?
Yeah. So I was always kind of an angry kid. I always had social problems growing up, so I've always been wanting to get into fights, and I've just been overall just a wild character. So then I started martial arts pretty early. I started in Taekwondo, which kind of gave me a little bit of, I don't know, just some sort of structure, but I was still pretty messed up for a while.
Was it a legit Taekwondo?
I would say so, yeah. Taekwondo is kind of, one of those weird martial arts you don't really... It's...
That's why I asked.
It's been watered down for sure.
But your place was legit.
You could call it that, yeah. Like in terms of like Taekwondo, he was the instructor at the time, Frank Sanchez, and also Aurora Gates. They were also training and like communicating with MMA fighters and grabbing intel. So it wasn't necessarily all Taekwondo. So they mixed in boxing and certain techniques, knee strikes, judo throws. So I did have a little bit of a well-rounded, so calling it like a legit Taekwondo gym, potentially not. But they understood movement, distance control, and then the use of punches as well, and grappling. And then eventually I did that for a little while, and then transitioned to MMA. I started training with Brooks Boyer as well. He was stationed out of Norfolk for a while.
For anybody who doesn't know who
he used to run Set the Bar, and then we just like a bunch of guys who took fights in the OFC ended up training, just training there, and then just grinding, and then going out to fights. So I training there super young. They got wild, a lot of temperance training, and they just kind of like sparred and beat the shit out of us. It was fun. It's good training, but that's how you learn. That's the point with training. You just gotta beat yourself up.
But now you're at the point where you're like, like I feel like whenever you and I go together, I feel good, because it's like we are going to have like a technical match, or you know what I mean, or not.
Yeah,
we're not gonna like try and beat the shit out of each other.
For sure.
Probably grappling, close to 100%, but not so much like the blows of the head and things like that.
Yeah. So no, for sure. Growing up, a good thing about Taekwondo, we didn't really allow any head punches, so that would have been a little wild. Yeah, especially on my end, I was a rascal for sure. But no, I went super hard on the kids, and they were my age as well. And that sounds really bad coming out of my mouth. So I was super hard on them, but I went like really hard. And we were supposed, usually in Taekwondo, we emphasized like light technical movement and technique.
Yeah.
But in terms of competition, I try to get in that rage mode and turn that switch on like I was talking about, and then just start like going at them to the point where like the coaches would like be concerned.
Right.
So not really like a brag per se. It's just like they weren't really used to like pressure and somebody being like aggressive with techniques, and I was also throwing like pretty heavy body punches as well. So I was trying to come at them and try to like hurt them. For sure, so I was trying to turn that switch on. So my anger problems never really went away, even after I started martial arts really early. I do remember that. But yeah, training in MMA, that ended up dissolving after a little while. Training at Set the Bar back in Norfolk. And also Jordan Heiderman used to train there, who I also trained with, 4-0 heavyweight, who just turned pro as well. So 4-0 pro, I should say. So it's pretty impressive performances in the LFA. Who I now train with consistently, traveling back and forth between Dodge. But anyways, after that team dissolved, he ended up directing me to Nick Norris, who at the time was running a MMA gym in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
So ended
That was
up
a nice
training
gym.
there. It is small gym, but like Nick Norris is really intelligent in his breakdown of martial arts techniques on the ground and striking. In fact, he's won several amateur, had fighters win several amateur fighters coming out of that gym,
Yeah.
as well as pro. Trained quite a lot over the past decade. Very intelligent trainer.
For sure.
So trained in Columbus for a while with Spencer Ish and Nick Norris, and I traveled back and forth like 4 or 5 times a week for 2 years, back and forth between Norfolk and Columbus to train MMA.
How far is that?
It's roughly like a hour-long drive, 45-minute drive, I think. But yeah, so I was primarily spending my high school days just like driving back and forth and training out of town. And practicing martial arts, my technique, and then sparring with the Columbus MMA team at the time. Nick Norris, Spencer Ish, me, Tony and Angel Ortega as well, the Ortega Bros. Tony recently just got a win in Dynasty Combat Sports against Nate Morrow.
And he's going to fight again.
Yeah, he's fighting Ashton Caniglia, the guy who beat me in my third MMA fight.
Is that
the
on the 14th?
Only guy to beat me, yeah.
On the 14th?
yes,
Next weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Going to that for sure.
So yeah, no, Tony Ortega and Angel Ortega, they were like the first like pro fighters I ever trained with.
Yeah.
I think Angel was still amateur at the time. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, they ended up beating the shit out of me for a while. So that's what actually helped my anger problems out a little bit. It's just like I'm getting my ass kicked for real.
Being humble.
Ego. Being humbled. Ego popped at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was pretty fun, especially in like rural Nebraska. We got a lot of crazy people back then where we were like having to put people down because just some people were just like, I don't know, like they see it's the only like MMA gym in town, and they see it's like small, and so they try to be tough, and then just get their asses kicked when they come in.
Right.
But no, eventually, Nick was training back and forth between LBJJC for a while. And having me run some classes in C-Bus for about a year and a half. So eventually Nick ended up moving down to LBJJC to become assistant coach for Honstein, who at the time was the head MMA coach for Lincoln Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so I ended up moving down there, ended up moving with my then sister at the time, Maureen, to that location. Just got an apartment there, and then I just started training at LBJJC since then.
Yeah, and do you think that's what helped you like go from a striker to like a well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter?
Yes, I would say so. Like more focus and attention to it, as well as just control of my emotions and just demeanor in general. Try to like think things out, be cool, calm, collected. Because I remember in that fight with Ashton Caniglia, that was just right before I ended up moving to Lincoln, just like a month or so. I ended up taking that fight on like 5 days' notice. I ended up cutting a pretty decent amount of weight. Didn't really focus on diet a whole lot, so I'm not using that as an excuse, of course, respect to Ashton. But no, I was pretty wild with my diet younger. Hence the pizza god. It was primarily like my entire diet growing up as a kid. So.
Is that how you got the nickname?
I guess so. I've switched my nicknames around a couple times, and honestly, I didn't really know what I was thinking, but I'm sticking with it, because this is America. I'll be whoever the fuck I want.
That's right. Just because you ate a lot of pizza growing up.
It's my DNA. Marinara flows through the veins.
Right. Do you like white pizza?
What?
You know what I mean? Like, there's some that has like
it's
white
like the
sauce.
Alfredo spread? Yeah, different kinds of sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I recently went to, what was it? I live next to a Greek restaurant, the Parthenon, like 56. I recently went there. They sold some pizzas. They were pretty good. Had like lamb beef in the sauce. So that was my latest adventure. It was pretty good.
That does sound good. Yeah, but I guess you're down for all kinds of pizza, basically. Or taco pizza?
Pretty much. I work at Pizza Hut as well, so they pretty much just, I just pretty much bring home pizza pretty much every night. So it's pretty good, especially with the amount I'm training, burning a lot of calories. So, not sponsoring them or anything. Just
right.
Just like, it's still shit food. I do whatever the hell I want outside training camp, but usually I try to stay pretty disciplined. Especially before that Ashton fight, like I was talking about. Like, I had a pretty shitty diet at the time, and that's just like what my nutrition was, what I was just like, what my lifestyle was like as an 18-year-old. So that was on me. I ended up getting gassed out in the fight, like super early on. Again, on me for being like super wild and stupid. And yeah, after that it was just kind of like a game changer, eye opener, and I was like super humbled by it. Like my first like actual loss, especially in a sport I like really loved and enjoyed. It's like, oh, that stung a little bit. So yeah, hopefully I get that win back when I turn pro. So that'll be something I'm looking for at some point. I'm going to be turning pro, especially after this next amateur fight. Whether it's defending my Dynasty Combat Sports title, or eventually, or fighting somebody out of state. I'm kind of down for anything, and then after that, turning pro. It's just keep fighting, keep grinding.
Yeah, that sounds good. And so I guess so. Like you said, like you train all the time, and you do feel overtrained, and you do get injured. I guess like do you deal with that with the cryo and the CBD?
Yeah, I definitely take advantage of it. Sometimes I'll like I get pretty wild with the CBD gummies, I will say. So I have no portion control, hence pizza god mode. I'm usually trying to devour everything, so I try to not get those too much. But yeah, for in terms of what was the question again? I started.
Or I guess
CBD gummies.
how do you know when?
I was thinking about CBD gummies.
Yeah.
It's on the brain. I should get some.
How do you know when you're overtrained, and then how do you like remedy
Oh,
that?
overtraining. Yeah, I probably do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as though I'm like tired as hell all the time, as you can probably see now. I'm just sleep's pretty wild with me. I just get it whenever I can. But no, yep, it's pretty good. No, usually with overtraining, I've been trying to be a little more disciplined with it lately, but I just kind of do whatever I want. It's whatever works out for me. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that sounds good.
Who knows what's up my sleeves?
Yeah, and then future plans that you just wanted to have one more amateur fight and then turn pro. Do you have anything that, do you have anything that I don't know? Anything on the books? I guess.
No, just in terms of like my personal life,
well, I guess exactly? Anything. But I'm trying to like figure out what I want to say. But you don't have anything like on the books, like as in booked fights or anything like that, right?
Oh no, nothing right now. But yeah, bring it on.
Would you do bare knuckle?
Hell yeah.
You would?
Should do bare knuckle MMA. Bring back soccer kicks, 12 to 6 elbows.
Man,
where the hell did all these rules come from?
I mean, like, I think it's been overplayed where the rules come from.
What's with these rules?
But it's definitely been overplayed where the rules do come from. But I feel like everybody thinks that until maybe they get one. Do you think that you would feel differently if you like ended up eating a soccer kick or a 12-6 elbow or a headbutt?
Well,
something
I
like
get
that?
knocked out. That happens if I get punched or like kicked with illegal techniques. So I mean, like.
But what if it's like more devastating? Like, you know what I mean? Like you get hurt like really bad.
If I die, I go to Valhalla. If I die in battle, I go to Valhalla. So that's gonna be that'll be preferable.
Right. All right, man.
I'll say no more. I'm really weird.
Yeah. It's like Baby Yoda or whatever. It's like I have spoken.
I have.
All right. You got anything else?
I'm the pizza god.
Yes, he is the pizza god. All right. Thanks a lot, Lucas.